Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, what a roller coaster journey he's had. I mean, he was this dynamic force tearing up defenses at Dortmund, scoring goals for fun, and then that move to Arsenal. Talk about high expectations. However, it seems as though he disappeared, causing me to wonder what happened. I remember watching him in his prime, that blistering speed, the cool finishes he made, and that undeniable charisma on the pitch. It's super disheartening to see a player of his caliber seemingly fade out of our eyes. His influence on the game was enormous. The excitement he brought to fans, the fear he instilled in opposing defenders. It's a shame to think that we might not see that again from him. It's like he went from being a football sensation to this enigmatic figure. It leaves you wondering if there's more to the story. It's not so easy to take, particularly for someone who used to have the entire world at their disposal. At one point, so many teams were interested in him, but I'm curious as to what transpired with Aubameyang's mysterious exit from the football scene. Let's get started. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Try saying that 3 times. Born in France, Aubameyang began his career in the youth ranks of AC Milan. Although he never made his debut with the first team, he was loaned out to several French clubs where he began to stand out for his scoring ability. In 2011, Aubameyang joined Saint-Etienne, a club in Ligue 1, the top division of French football. During his time at Saint-Etienne, Aubameyang won the League Cup and became one of the best strikers in the league. His statistics at Saint-Etienne are impressive. He played 87 games, scored 37 goals, and gave 15 assists. These numbers reflect his ability to find the back of the net and help his teammates score, something that teams at the time were trying to find. Aubameyang moved to Borussia Dortmund in 2013, and that's when he really took off. During his time at Dortmund, he played a total of 144 games, noted 98 goals, and provided 21 assists during his tenure there. There, he teamed up with Marco Reus to create a deadly partnership and won the supporters over with his lavish celebrations. The type of celebrations that made you want to do them as well. Aubameyang scored 31 goals in the 2016-17 Bundesliga season, making him the first player from Africa to do so. In addition, he was voted the 8th best player in the world in 2016 and the greatest African player of the year in 2015. These are some truly odd numbers for a Dortmund player. With Dortmund, he won a German Cup, a German Super Cup, and even played in the Champions League final, which they lost to Bayern Munich. Jumping a little bit forward to 2018, Aubameyang endured the worst season of his career with Borussia Dortmund, making just 16 appearances and scoring 13 goals, which, in all honesty, is a great goal-to-game ratio. However, it appeared that he wanted a change in scenery. That year, clubs from all across Europe flocked to sign him, each promising a new beginning and a new phase in his great career. But among all speculation, one name kept coming up repeatedly in his head:
Arsenal.
He was drawn to the Premier League because of its elegance, the chance to wear the famous red and white jersey, and the rumors that the team was about to make a comeback. In 2018, Aubameyang signed for Arsenal for a record £60 million, becoming the most expensive Gabonese player in history. During his time at Arsenal, he played a total of 128 games, scored 68 goals, and provided 16 assists. He became the team leader and offensive reference in the English club. During that time period, when you thought of Arsenal, you thought of Aubameyang. Aubameyang was the Premier League's top scorer in the 18-19 season with 22 goals, sharing the award with Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane. He was also the top scorer in the Europa League in the 19-20 season with 9 goals, and the hero of the FA Cup, where he scored 2 goals to give Arsenal the cup. But part of his success at Arsenal also came with nightmares. The history at Arsenal was not a fairy tale at all. During the 2021-2022 season, he played 14 games, only scoring about 4 and assisting once. This had been the worst year he had at Arsenal by far. Many people hypothesized on many factors that caused the drop. Numerous individuals said that the Gabonese striker had multiple disciplinary issues that caused him to lose the support of both the supporters and the coach, Mikel Arteta. In addition, Aubameyang disregarded pandemic-related health restrictions, showed a lazy and uninterested demeanor on the field, and often often arrived late to practices and games. Arsenal decided to terminate his contract by mutual agreement in January of 2022, leaving him free to sign for another club. To everyone's surprise, he signed for Barcelona. Aubameyang surprised the world by signing for Barcelona, which was going through a serious economic and sporting crisis. The Gabonese forward arrived at the Catalan club as a luxury reinforcement to accompany Memphis Depay and Ansu Fati in the attack. In hindsight, none of these players turned out to be great. Aubameyang signed a contract until 2025 with a termination clause of 100 million euros. A crazy release clause if you ask me. Aubameyang debuted for Barcelona in February of 2022, scoring a goal in his first game. However, his adaptation to the team was not easy. He had to compete for a position with other forwards such as Sergio Agüero, Ousmane Dembélé, and Martin Braithwaite. Goathwaite. Despite the challenges, Aubameyang managed to score 11 goals in 17 games during the season without providing any assists. Although he was doing well, his fate struck him again. He decided to switch scenery to Chelsea, something that Arsenal fans hated him for doing. The Gabonese striker reunited with Thomas Tuchel, his former coach at Dortmund, and joined an ambitious project that aspired to retain the Champions League title. Aubameyang made his debut for Chelsea in August of 2022, scoring a goal in his first game. However, his time at the English club was brief and disappointing. In total, Aubameyang played 15 games and scored only 1 goal without providing any assists. At Chelsea, he had to deal with the competition from other forwards such as Romelu Lukaku, Timo Werner, and Kai Havertz. Aubameyang was relegated to the bench and barely had any minutes. A player once renounced as one of the best strikers in the world was not being played at all. Something very new for the striker. In January of 2023, Chelsea decided to loan him to Olympique de Marseille, who were looking for a replacement for Milik, who was seriously injured. Aubameyang arrived at Olympique de Marseille, hoping to recover his best level and his joy for football. Aubameyang made his debut for Olympique de Marseille in February of 2023, scoring a goal in his first game. Since then, Aubameyang has become the team's leader and offensive reference. In their 18 matches played, they have become the top assistant in Ligue 1. Aubameyang, at 34 years old, has shown that he still has much to offer to football. His speed, definition, and mobility make him a fearsome forward for any defense. At Olympique de Marseille, he has found a team that has allowed him to recover his best level and his joy for football. In their 19 games played, Aubameyang scored 6 goals and gave 7 assists. Thanks to his contribution, Olympique de Marseille is 7th position in the table. Aubameyang's arrival at Marseille has been beneficial for both the player and the team. For Aubameyang, it has meant the opportunity to shine again and prove his worth in one of the most competitive stages in football. For Marseille, it has meant having a leader and an offensive reference who has helped the team improve its performance and compete in the elite of European football. This concludes the story of Aubameyang's rise and fall. In all honesty, I enjoyed Aubameyang's stints at Dortmund and Arsenal, but more specifically at Dortmund. He was one of the top strikers at that time when he was in Dortmund. He had an amazing pace. I think if you played FIFA during that time, you know what I'm talking about. Dribbling wasn't up to par with, Messi type dribbling, but he was still good for a striker of his height, pretty much. Right now, I believe at the recording of this video, he is 34 years old. So I wish that, he continues his great stint at Marseille and he can, bag more goals and kind of make his name more well known now that he's, a little bit older. I want him to prove Arsenal wrong from them not choosing to stick with him. So yeah, that's essentially pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are amazing. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.